There's probably, by the way, I'm Steve Lavagnino. I'm Santa Barbara County 5th District Supervisor. Thank you. I would say there's probably nobody that knows these two better than me. Because I've served 6 years with Salute, and every Monday, for at least an hour, I sit with Andy Caldwell in my office and we go over the agenda for the week and get his input on how he feels about what we're doing to you guys. So I get a meeting every Monday at 10. But I do know them very well. And like he said, Salute is a very nice guy. And there's a lot of things I can say about him politically, but I actually like him, and I know Andy does. He's a nice guy, he's a good family person, I was able to use him on the Board of Supervisors because he was more moderate than some of the super crazy people we had on the board at the time. But something happened when he went to DC, and I saw it when he just announced he was going to run for Congress. All of a sudden, things that I thought I could count on him for votes, he wasn't there anymore. You know, he had his finger in the wind, and he was trying to determine what was going to get him elected, what's not going to get him elected. And now, I'm disappointed when I read things. It's that he has made a determination that the way for him to get reelected in this district is to go completely left. What he worries about is another Democrat taking him out. And so he is a torchbearer for the Green New Deal. He supports universal health care. I think he was one of the first person to come out, and he's a supporter of Beto O'Rourke. That was his choice for president. So DC has changed him. And I can promise you, there's not a lot of things I can promise, but I can promise you, Andy Caldwell's not going to change. You all know that. You've known him for 30 years.
That's my wife.
Yes. My job is to come up and kind of finalize the ask of you. But I think the easy ask, it's easy. Sometimes it's hard to ask for you to do something for a candidate because you might not know him. You know he's better than the other person, but you might not know that person. But think about this. Every Tuesday for the last 30 years, and now you know why we give him 3 minutes to speak at the meetings, but every Tuesday for the last 30 years, he's been there, fighting for you. While you're at work, he's fighting for agriculture. While you're out in the field, he's fighting for the oil industry. When you're picking your kids up from soccer practice, he's fighting for the taxpayer. And there's a saying in politics that if you're not at the table, you're part of the meal, right? So while you haven't been able to be there, he's been there in your place. So all the things he's done for us, it's time for us to step up for Andy. So as he said, we're not going to outrace Salute Carbajal. You can't. He's got a huge war chest. He's got the whole Democratic machine behind him. But what I don't want you to do is look at those numbers and get discouraged. Because I promise you, nobody predicted a Donald Trump presidency. So if anybody's going to tell you they know what's going to happen, or this race is over, or this is what's going to happen, or this is what the numbers tell you, block it out, okay? And just keep working. I've been around a lot of campaigns, and what I have found is generally the campaign that works the hardest wins. That's really what it comes down to. And it's not really the candidate, it's the people behind them. So, in the words of Karl Rove once said, there's three important things in a political campaign. The first two are money, and I can't remember the third one. So, what's important before you leave today is make sure you take one of these. $250, $500, $1,000 or more, whatever you can do. Think about every time you give $250, it's a radio spot. That's a campaign sign that's going to influence somebody as they drive by. It might be a mailer that's going to some neighborhood that's going to change a few people's minds. And so be generous, be hopeful, and let's get out there and work for Andy like he's done for us over the last 30 years.